Hey everyone, I'm out in this garden area this morning and I've been feeding our blueberry plants. They're just doing terrific this year and the peach trees look great and the garden on the other side looks great, and I just wanted to take you through this morning and show you just what is possible with these methods of growing and encourage you, if you're interested in gardening and sustainable living, just to show you what can be done on a small area of land. Now, most of these gardens I take care of by myself, so not saying that to brag, just to let you know what's possible for one person to do. My husband and I own a 120-acre farm, so he has lots of work to do besides the gardens, and you probably hear him in the distance now running the weed eater trying to clean up a fence line. But I just want to take you through and show you how everything's doing and what's possible on a little bit of land. First of all, as I said, I'm fertilizing the blueberries this morning. It's been a little bit dry and I wanted to water them. And when I water blueberries, I also need to add apple cider vinegar. Our water is hard water and it has calcium in it, so that would help raise the pH of the soil, and our blueberries like acid soil. So for each gallon of water I add 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar to the water to keep it from being too alkaline. And also I'm adding 1 tablespoon of this Brown's fish fertilizer that comes from the mountains of North Carolina, and it is an OMRI approved product for organic growing. I use this hose-in sprayer and it's calculated for 20 gallons of water, so I put 20 tablespoons of the vinegar and 20 tablespoons of the fish fertilizer. This has been an exceptional year for fruit, and you can see how many blueberries are on these blueberry bushes. Blueberries have always been dependable for us, and these bushes we planted about 13 or 14 years ago, so they've been here for a good while, and they've always been dependable. Just on the other side we have our grapevines, and they also have set a lot of fruit. They're still small, but I think you might see some there. But it looks like they're going to do terrific this year also. And then we come to our peach trees. Now, peaches are very hard for us to grow here. We normally have a lot of problems with them. We don't use any chemicals, so we frequently have worms in the peaches or brown rot. But this year it looks like they are going to do very well. But we won't know until we harvest and see how they look inside. But they are almost ripe now. Now we're going to come to our vegetable garden over here, and the first thing I have are some pumpkin vines that are just growing beautifully. And if you remember from other videos, I started this garden simply by cutting the growth and then mulching the entire area with a layer of hay mulch. And you can see how well that has worked out. It keeps most of the weeds down, but not all of them. But it really helps. It keeps in the moisture, keeps down the weeds. So here's the okra and the beans growing together. And this is Moon and Star's watermelon with sunflowers around them. And this is the cantaloupe. And more beans. And more watermelon. Few peppers, more beans, and here are the cucumbers that have really spread out. And today later I will be making some fermented cucumber pickles. This comfrey, I frequently take comfrey to the chickens. They love to eat that. And you can see the bees like to pollinate the comfrey. And then here we have the tomatoes and peppers and more beans and peas, more tomatoes, and the squash coming along good. We've gathered right much squash, although we don't need a lot, just for 2 people. And then these potatoes are getting close to being ready for harvest. Gathering corn today. We love the corn, and the cows love the corn stalks. Okay, I'm excited today. We have our first corn of the season, and this is my favorite thing from the garden. You can put a little mineral oil on the end of each ear, on the silk, before the ears fill out, and that will stop the worms. But I'm usually too busy to get that done. So after I trim the ends, we will have some great corn. And there we have it. Corn straight from the garden, boiled for about 5 minutes and served with salt and pepper. It's a great treat. Thank you for joining us today. If you have questions or comments, please leave them below. Now is a good time to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Also, ring the notification bell to ensure you don't miss future videos, and share with someone else.